Hello, my Built for 1000 Nation. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a great day. If not, no hope it gets better from here. We are back with another That chapter. This one is titled something. When a mass killer terrifies Texas for weeks. It intrigued me. Just the title itself intrigued me. Alright, I'm excited to get into today's video. If you guys are excited as I am, please go ahead. Turn them lights down low. Put on something comfy, couple, something special. Let's get terrified. Man, anything that can terrorize people in Texas, man. Have you all met people in Texas? They got guns everywhere, man. I don't know why they scared, but let's get into today's video and find out.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this old video,
Hello, Mike.
Today for you folks, I have the story of a haunting. There's no ghosts in this video, no spooky castles, no whispers, coming from the walls. No, this is the story of a person who haunted the city of Austin, Texas, striking fear into the heart of everybody who lived there, and it's a story of a race against time to stop him before he struck again. This guy had a blog defining my stance. Good luck on that one. But why he did what he did still largely remains a mystery. In 2018, he made a name for himself. That name is Shithead. Let's give it a go.
Alright, I love the name Shithead. I've been called a shithead before.
So the year was 2018, and I think looking back, things were already kind of well and truly going off the rails then, and COVID hadn't even hit yet. Look forward to that, people, in this story. Just before 7 AM on the 2nd of March 2018, a Friday, residents of the 1100 block of Haverford Drive, northeast Austin, were shaken awake by the sound of a loud-ass explosion.
Oh shit.
Not typically the best way to start your day. Bomb wasn't near the...
I mean, it'd definitely be better than a cup of coffee. I know I would be wide the fuck awake if something exploded right next to me or anywhere around me. If I heard an explosion first thing in the morning, you best bet I wouldn't need coffee the rest of the day. Probably wouldn't need to, ever use the bathroom again because I'd probably shit all over myself. But, it happens.
First thing to enter people's heads, as it wouldn't be, the first thing to enter most people's heads. Everybody who heard it thought it was like a car backfiring or something like that. That morning, 39-year-old Anthony Stephen House had popped out to his front porch, to have a cigarette. Right, that morning, first smoke of the day, and as he was out there, he saw on the ground a package waiting for him. Anthony was a father, a husband, a graduate of Texas State University, and a quiet and humble guy. He didn't do small talk, and people liked him for it. After graduating university with a degree in finance, he went to work as a project manager for Texas Quarries.
Oh, yeah.
And on March 2nd, he was getting ready, as I said, having his brekkie, starting a regular-ass normal day. Whether he even got to the point...
See, this is where he fucked up. See, if you're going to smoke cigarettes, you want your first cigarette not to be outside. You're going to want to be in the pooper. Now listen to me. You go in there in that pooper, go ahead and have your cup of coffee. It don't even matter. It's your pooper. If you don't feel like you can have a cup of coffee in there, then clean it better. Sometimes it's needed. I do not like to fall asleep on the pooper and fall off the pooper. So, you get you a nice cup of coffee, get in there with your cigarette. Now that is the first one of the day. Anything other than that, you ain't doing it right. I'm just saying.
Point of actually physically...
You shouldn't smoke in general. It's bad for you. But if you do it while pooping.
Opening the package is unknown. But the package exploded in a blast that sent nails and large chunks of galvanized steel soaring through the air at thousands of feet per second. Anthony was blown off his feet and landed in a pool of his own blood.
911, do you need...
Hey, I don't know what's going on. My neighbor, something exploded or something. There's blood everywhere. We need an ambulance immediately.
Within seconds of the explosion, neighbors were like, nah.
I wouldn't pay for that to happen to me. My neighbors would be like, he's gone. My neighbors don't like me. I've done nothing to them. It's fine, though. I don't like them either.
Don't think it's a car. They raced and they found Anthony lying outside his home, but he was already gone. Most concern was that Anthony's young daughter was just feet away when this happened.
road here, so a lot of unanswered questions about
What?
what happened. But again, some sort of explosion this morning, and one man taken to the hospital with pretty serious injuries.
And that poor baby
With
seen
terrorism
it?
being seen as
Oh
a
my
constant,
God.
looming threat, it's no surprise that within 5 minutes of the bomb going off,
That child's gonna be fucked up for life, bruh. Oh my Lord. Like, as children, we all see some pretty fucked up shit. I know people, sweeping down, we don't see shit, but, whenever we're kids, we see everything. We might not understand it, but we see everything. You know what I mean? That child gonna be fucked for life. You will never be able to hand it a package again. It will freak the fuck out and run away. It will never trust the post office. It will never trust Christmas. Oh my God. That's awful.
a phone was ringing at the FBI offices in Austin. You don't really want to mess around with this sort of stuff, is what I'm thinking, and maybe probably what you're thinking too. Analysts from the FBI and ATF arrived and began sifting through thousands of pieces of debris and found a whole bunch of help.
I mean, if there's a boom, you call the FBI. Federal Boom Inspectors. You thought I was going to say boob, didn't you?
Couple of things when trying to determine what the shit just happened, and nobody knew what the shit just happened. Like, by all accounts, Anthony Stephen House, and he went by Stephen most of the time. Regular, nice, quiet, humble guy. A man anyone would be proud to know, and a real pillar
He
of
golfs.
his community. A dedicated husband, a dedicated father, and a very
Swims with the
successful guy. A
fishes.
star athlete. Always achieved great
Takes
results
baths in
academically
waterfalls.
before working in construction, and more recently he had been working
Is
or
that the
dabbling
child?
in finance.
Aw.
He was even in the process of setting up his own hedge fund. Criminal career? That's what I say to that. I say that. The bomb
no,
that
no,
had
no,
killed
no.
Stephen had been hand-delivered and left there purposely on the porch outside his house. Special delivery. That made the targeting of Stephen, seem even more, suspect. Somebody had purposely left it there. It hadn't been, sent through the mail or anything like that. An early theory in the aftermath of what happened was that the bomb, this homemade pipe bomb explosive, was actually meant for one of Stephen's neighbors, who was a known drug dealer, and it had just been accidentally left outside Stephen's house.
Part of the investigation
Are you
is
serious?
what was the cause of the explosion, what type of a device may it have been. APD units
was a
arrived
bomb.
on scene, and again,
It was one that goes
apparent we had
boom.
an explosive incident that had occurred, and what you're seeing
They ate
behind
the
us
chili.
is a very detailed investigation into that incident. We're working diligently to understand this incident and to understand why it had occurred.
Police, though, they initially were like, maybe it was just one of them good old accidents. Somebody just happened to make pipe nail bomb, and it's a prank.
Yeah, because, it wasn't originally, but, they bought all the stuff to make it. And somehow it just, in the shipping, how things bounce around, all that stuff just went inside and just somehow mysteriously made the boom. Yes, because, people accidentally, I couldn't tell you how many times I accidentally got a bomb in the mail. I mean, show of hands. It's like it's a Wednesday thing. Are you fucking stupid? How can you accidentally just, yeah. Man, I've heard some stupid shit come out of some popo mouth, but damn, that's dumb. Only accident I seen there is it was accidentally left on the wrong yard. It's the only accident I see happening. Fucking idiots.
Bro? The reason they speculated it was a possible accident was to calm people down. Because
They ain't gonna calm no one down. People ain't stupid. Do I look stupid? But don't.
have Anthony Stephen House with no criminal record, no known associates who were criminal. It must have been an accident, right? After all, right, if the bomb was sent to a target, or even more terrifying, a completely random person, then that means the bomber is still out there. Anyone...
But here's the thing. People should be scared. I'm serious. People should be scared. Because what if it is just random? Put the fear of fucking God into each and every single person. And no one's going to be like, did you order something? I don't... I I may have ordered something. I don't know. And then they go out there and they're open. It's like, oh yeah, you did order something. And they go, and but what if? Like, you don't want to be out there and be like, oh yeah, my old lady must have ordered something. Just didn't know about it. Maybe it's a present for me. Boom, there goes your fucking face. Thinking you're going to get a Rolex watch, and next thing you know, you're missing an eyeball, a jaw, and a nose. It ain't no fucking accident.
Could be next. The bomb could right now be in transit to its next
Yes.
twist. He was, and it was.
Well, that's not a twist. That's just scary, Mike. Oh, but that would be horrible. Like, wouldn't you want people to be afraid of that? Hey, by the way, motherfuckers, don't go out there and just be like, ooh, free package, because it might blow your ass up. Look, judge if you want, but anytime I get something in the mail and it's like, ooh, a free package, I'm going to open it up and see what's inside. I do it. I'm sorry. Oh, shit. No, I don't. Because, like, where I live, you get a lot of people's mail. Everyone gets everyone else's mail, never their own. You get kind of used to who you have to give it to.
Oh, I need a EMS, please.
But in all fairness, the addresses where I live are really, really fucking stupid.
Something exploded in the house, and my breastbone is bleeding everywhere.
What exactly happened that caused this?
They opened a package from outside.
I just bought him the new PS5, and I told him about it. I told him it'd be here in a couple of days, and the little son of a bitch didn't wait on me. He just went out there, grabbed it. He's like, ooh, PS5, and ripped it open. Now his face is gone. That's what happened.
And exploded in the house.
Any hope of this being a one-and-done accident or successfully killing a specific target, well, that evaporated into the ether when 10 days later, not one, but two more bombs detonated across the city of Austin. Born on May 26, 2000, Draylen William Mason may have only been 17, but by March 2018 was already more accomplished than many adults with far more years on the clock. Even his peers, saw him as something of a role model. By that age, he was already a black belt in martial arts, and he'd been accepted into a load of music colleges and music schools to play upright bass. Like, he was athlete, the academic, the musician, he had it all. So who would want to hurt?
As a black belt, man, he should have been able to whoop that bomb's ass. I've seen Jackie Chan. I've seen Chuck Norris do things, bro. Bruce Lee. Man, you think man, he just didn't have the good enough training. I'm trying to make light of it because it's sad. It literally looks like both of them, like upstanding young men. Just another one was a little bit older, but still in the relativity of how long people live anymore, they was both young men. Is it a race thing? They was both black. That's fucked up. Mike, where are we going with this, bud?
Draylen is a question everybody would soon be asking. Just like the first explosion, Draylen had been killed by a blast from a bomb at around 6:45 a.m. This time on the 4800 block of Old Fort Hill Drive in East.
Is that a cello? Is that what this is called right here that I'm touching? Is this a cello? Cello? Man, he's musical? Why would you kill someone musical? That's like one of the most beautiful things in the world is music. And anyone who can put that beauty into the world don't need to die. That's rude.
East Austin. 20 minutes.
It looks like he's like a part of like an actual like a thing, bro. Like there's people everywhere and they're getting pictures taken. What's 2017? What is it? I can't read that little print. Where are we at?
From where Anthony Stephen House had been killed. Just as with, Anthony Stephen House, the package had been left outside his home, but this time Draylen actually picked it up and brought it inside to his house, left it on the kitchen table. It had exploded as soon as he tried to open it. The explosion also severely injured his mother, Shamika Wilson.
Oh.
So now you have two
Is that the
bombs
lady that was on
in
the
the
phone?
space of 10 days across the city. And at this point, it was absolutely undeniable that both were related. I mean, well, first of all, Coinky dink? I think not, my friends, in this one. And secondly, when the authorities began sifting through the remains and the rubble, there was too many similarities between the bombs for it not.
Yeah, that's the main thing. They have people who make bombs make them a certain way almost every freaking time. It's like their fingerprint. I've watched a lot of things in my time. I've seen so many movies. I can defuse a bomb. I stayed at a Holiday Inn. I can do that. If you don't get that reference, damn, I'm old. So is this feller a professional? Like, is this someone who's done this before? Because if it is, they keep a database. Like I said, bomb making, it's like a fingerprint. Each one of them is specific in how they do it. Different. They're all slightly different. So, man, I don't even use
to have been made by the same person.
Perhaps what is even more alarming about this incident is that police are
like the
now
truck.
tying this
I want the
case
truck.
with
I
another
want this
deadly
truck.
package explosion that happened
it.
on March 2nd.
We are
want
looking at
it.
these incidents as being related based on similarities that we have seen in the initial evidence that we have on hand here today compared to what we found on the scene of that explosion that took place a week back.
Tragedy again and again, and it did not take long for
So
the
is it
inevitable
like every
to happen.
week?
In fact, the same day the bomb went off in Draylen's house, another bomb went off.
Oh, damn.
What's
Cough
going on,
about came
guys?
out my nose.
Hey guys, back away, back away.
Agents were still working at the
Back,
scene of
back.
bomb number 2 when the call came in. There had been a third bombing. Just
Turd.
before noon, at around 11:50 a.m.,
I love how he says third. It makes me smile.
75-year-old Esperanza Herrera was taking care of her 93-year-old mother, Mary, when
Aw.
she saw that a package had been left outside their house. Esperanza,
Could be the old lady's medicine or anything. See, that's the scary part about it. No one's ever really going to be like, oh, that shouldn't be there. Because people order so much shit all the time. I know I do. Hell, I almost hate going into a store anymore. Like most of my stuff, like if I get it from Walmart, I have it delivered. I just generally don't like going into the stores anymore. You feel crowded on, you feel bombarded with everything. Like I know what I want, get out of my face, just let me get this, and then you don't have to wait in line. And someone brings it to your door. I love it. But we get so much shit. And how many out there, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, whatever the hell it is, husband, wife, I don't care. Your person that you go home to and you treat better, slightly better than everyone else, that person right there, say you order something they didn't know, they go out, you think they're going to leave a package out there just in case you ordered something and they didn't know about? No, they're going to get it and bring it in. Same way me. If my old lady orders something and I don't know about it, I'm still, if there's a package on the porch, I'm going to pick it up off the porch. I'm going to bring it into the house. And they'll probably sit there until she gets home and then it's like, well, here's the package that you ordered. And then she's going to be like, I didn't order it. And then I'm going to be like, what the fuck is it? And then I'm going to open it and then I'm going to die. Like that is the scariest thing about it is people in the world nowadays get packages so much that we would never think nothing about it. Back in the day, you get a package it's like, oh, I know what this is. This is my silver from where the fuck ever. Because you didn't get shit like that all the time. Man.
seeing this, her mother always received care packages and all that kind of stuff, so she didn't even think twice about going inside, picking it up, bringing it back in home. Once again, on a kitchen table,
Excuse
it
me.
exploded. The
No.
second victim of March 12th, grandmother
Coffee sneaking
H.
up on me, bro.
Esperanza, she stood at just 4 foot 7 inches tall, but was
Oh.
regarded as being defended.
You can put her in your pocket. I love it. I'm not very tall. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm really, really not. I'm only like 5'11", I think. I'm getting older, so I probably shrunk at least a quarter inch. So we'll say 5'10" to 5'11", depending on if I'm wearing my shoes or my boots. I love it when people are actually shorter than me. I'm just like, yay, someone's smaller. They put you in my pocket. Oh, my lady's short too. I don't know. I love it.
Foundation of her entire family, the person everyone would turn to in a crisis. She didn't have a chance to escape, and like Anthony House and Draylon Mason, she was blown off her feet and critically injured.
I'd imagine she's only like this big. She probably flew, hit the ceiling, came back down again. Poor thing.
Unlike the prior victims, though, Esperanza would actually survive the bombing. First responders thought she
Because she didn't have nothing holding her there. Like I get it now. When it explodes, if you're, average size or bigger, you got that force holding you put, and then it's taking more to throw you. She was little, man. She got thrown with the first part of the explosion, the actual poof. She got boom. So she got to miss out on the bad part. Got it.
She wasn't going to pull through. A nail had gone through her cheek and her arm had been severely damaged. But the worst and most life-threatening injuries were to her stomach. It took months in the hospital and every ounce of fight in her, but she eventually recovered, though left with some...
Stomach things never go well. Oh my God, yeah. Like, I did, I've done a lot of different shit in my life. I've did EMT training. I've done nursing stuff. I've done a lot. Anything where the money lies, I've gone into for a short period of time and usually not liked it. Like nursing and stuff, I really just did not like it. I did all the way up until the passing of my grandmother, and then I didn't like it no more. EMT training, I didn't like after we went on a thing, and I just had a little boy, and it was bad. I cried, and everyone cried, and I walked away, and I never went back. So there was that. I'm not good with things. I'm good in an emergency, just not when the emergency collates with something in my life. Like the call we went on, it was a kid about my son's age and everything, and it did not go well at all. But I don't forget what I was saying. Fuck it. Let's go back.
Serious physical and psychological scars. She's extremely lucky, though, to survive. This younger and stronger...
Oh. I know whenever this stuff gets ripped up, it's really hard because the stomach acids and stuff like that. It gets bad. That's what we saw. I have ADHD. I do apologize. I have ADHD, ADD. I have been diagnosed with it, and I refuse to take medicine because last time I did, it turned me into something I really, really did not like. So I just got to deal with, I lose my train of thought a lot. I'm not kidding when I say I'm like a goldfish. Once around the bowl, it's a whole new world, a better place.
People hadn't. So it was after the third bomb altogether, second in a day, that the investigation kicked into high gear March 12th, 2018.
Someone is leaving package bombs at homes. It has happened 3 times
This is what we've needed the whole fucking time. Get on there and create mass panic. That way no one wants to ever deliver their mail or answer mail or pick up mail. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm sorry. I'm a firm believer in let me know. Let me decide whether I need to be scared or not. Because all this happening and trying to make it seem like it's not what it is, if more people would have been a little bit more scared, more people might have survived. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I'm not saying create a mass panic, but put a little bit more oomph, like spit on those fingers first. Don't make it just, straight in your booty hole dry. Spit on them fingers and then in the booty hole. That way it's a little bit easier to take. And that way maybe people will be like, I didn't order shit. Fuck that. I'm calling the police. And you know something? Fuck it. If the police lines get a little overwhelmed, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. That's their job. You'll be alive. I'll be alive. They'll be alive. That person might die. But if they did their job right, they're going to live too. I have opinions.
month, leaving 2 people dead and 2 others wounded. The latest explosions happened today at homes a few miles apart. The FBI and ATF are investigating.
They began sweeping the entire city. Someone is sending out bombs. And it appeared like they knew the three were linked. The bomb makers were, but the victims weren't linked at all. It seemed random. And more than 500 agents would end up taking part in a manhunt across several agencies. And this began to grip the entire country at this point. Now investigators had 2 dead
I
and
don't
2
know
wounded,
nothing
and
about
no idea why in the hell.
I don't even remember when he said this happened. I don't remember this at all. I'm old. I'm old enough to remember things. Ooh, what if I'm at that age where I'm old enough to start forgetting things? Oh, we're fucked.
Hell, it was happening. It appeared to be random, or at least semi-random. 2 of the victims were male. They both were black. The third
Like, I'm so
victim was
old, I forgot to
was a
shave.
Hispanic female.
Damn, I really did.
Well, we know that the victims of these 3 incidents, 2 were African American and 1 was Hispanic. So again, we're not going to rule out the possibility that that may be a motive.
Fear began to spread.
So it could be a race thing. Like it. Okay. 2, because he said 2 was black, which was the 2 fellers at first, right? And then the Hispanic lady that was like 4 foot nothing, right? Maybe it is a race thing. I don't know. Maybe he's an ignorant racist. Maybe he's like, they're all that color. I'm just gonna blow them all up. People are stupid. It is what it is. But is it? Could it be like a race thing? Anyone who's not whiter than this, they gotta blow up type shit. That's stupid.
Across Austin.
I hope it ain't that.
No one knew if and when the bomber would strike next and where it.
I'm sorry, I think that's the stupidest reason in the world to kill someone is the color of their fucking skin. That's the dumbest fucking thing ever. I get there's always going to be people out there that hate other people for the dumbest reasons ever. But this to hate someone because they're a little darker than you or a lot darker than you, depending on which basement you're living in. Who cares? You know something? In wintertime, I am so white I have to turn off half these lights because I don't get no sun. In the summertime, I'm considerably darker to be redheaded. It don't matter, you know? Like, who cares? My dad, he works at Walmart, and in the summertime, they put him in a lawn and garden. And I'm telling you what, whenever he comes home, I envy him because he's one of these people that can get dark as fuck. Me, no, I'm redheaded, I'm Irish, that shit don't happen. I get sunburnt and then I get whiter. Eventually, I'm just going to be see-through. But who cares about the color of someone's skin? It don't fucking make a shit on what's on the inside. It don't. Man, that's stupid.
Would be. As it would
Send all of Texas into a frenzy over the color or something. I hope it's not a race thing. I hope it's just stupid shit.
turn out, though, the next bomb wasn't actually on its way anywhere.
Really?
And that made it all the more scary. Like Esperanza, though, this time the 2 victims involved would be able to would survive and be able to walk away from it. They were extremely lucky.
Were
We
they?
have a confirmed shrapnel. Hey, Dooley. grab
Sorry,
a piece
that's
of
loud.
tape right here. It's a tripwire. This is the kind of stuff I've seen in Iraq. Tell him to stop right there.
Did he say that's a tripwire in this? Are we going to work now? All right, you going to listen to me. Did he say that it's like a tripwire, the stuff that he would see like Afghanistan and shit, like in wartime shit, like, hey, freeze. There could be danger type shit. What the fuck?
Corporal, can you grab...
So he's like booby trapping them now. Like, so you're just gonna go out and get the package and die? You don't even get to take it in your house? Well, I mean, at least you don't have to take it in your house. That's probably this much better, just that much better, because at least then, you know, people who are in your house hopefully ain't gonna die as well. But now you're just gonna be exploded outside for everyone to see. I just spit all over the place. What the fuck is wrong with me
I need
today?
something to mark this. It's a tripwire. You see the line?
6 days after the 12th March bombs detonated on March 18th in an upscale residential neighborhood of Travis County in the southwest of Austin, two young men were
ridiculous.
walking along the sidewalk when they were suddenly blown back off their feet and for a brief moment engulfed in flames. Both men escaped with their lives, but did receive serious injuries to their legs.
Well,
This
thank
time,
God.
the bomb wasn't a pipe bomb on a timer delay or on a fuse left outside somebody's house. This time, he had a wire, like a fishing line, across the pavement. These two lads were just walking along the sidewalk, when a tripwire. This time, the victim selection was 100% random. There's no way the bomber could have known who was walking down the sidewalk at that particular time.
A fourth bomb.
They are clearly dealing with a serial bomber, and whoever that is, they think is trying to send a message.
Belief that we are now dealing with someone who's using tripwires shows a higher level of sophistication, a higher level of skill.
The tripwire explosive could have been placed literally anywhere, and in an extra piece of shithousery, as if there was any more needed, the bomb had been hidden under a sign that read, "Drive like your kids live here." That sign hadn't been there before. It had been bought specifically to cover the IED, and wasn't exactly a common thing. That made identifying the point of sale a lot easier. And soon after, the police, ATF, FBI, and a dozen other agencies had surveillance footage of their primary suspect. However, no sooner did, when agents, they were starting to feel like, all right, we think we have a guy, let's start working with something right from now on. And, okay, we're getting there. Then news came in of fifth bombing this time. Jeez, there's so many bombs. On March 20th at 12:45 a.m., news of another
It's
bomb
like the 4th
started
of fucking
trickling
July,
through.
bruh.
Bomb number 5 detonated as it was being relayed on a conveyor belt at a sorting facility in Schertz, a small town just outside of San Antonio.
Oh, this one actually got mailed? Oh,
the package
shit.
in question was found to be on its way back to Austin after it was shipped from Austin. A strange turn of events that had federal investigators push for more awareness and vigilance.
Who the intended recipient of this bomb was supposed to be, it's never been revealed. Nobody ended up being hurt when the bomb detonated in the sorting facility, but now the level of worry just raised because now the bomber was sending out packages via FedEx.
Maybe that was kind of like his plan the whole time. Wasn't actually just send it to someone. It was just to cause more panic and maybe like fuck with the United States Postal Service or UPS or FedEx or whoever it happened to. Maybe it's something like that. I don't want to say that's probably what it was, but doesn't that what it is? What the did I have a stroke in my sleep? That's what it kind of sounds like to me. Is like this one here was just mainly for panic, maybe more notoriety in what he's doing. That's going to get in the news bigger than shit. You know what I mean? More fear. Maybe he just fucking stupid and fucked up. Who knows?
Not hand delivering them, not placing them himself. He was sending them just through the mail. It was an escalation. Now the risk of the bomber had grown exponentially.
Yeah,
There could be
now you're
bombs
fucking
all
with like
across the country for all
postal
they knew.
workers, bro.
Authorities knew they needed to find the person responsible and end this like yesterday. Though I think they were probably thinking that when the first bomb went off. But before they could even get to that, agents discovered another thing. You know that bomb that went off in the FedEx sorting facility? Well, looking at the tracking number, there had been 2 packages. They had no idea where the other package that had shipped with it was. So there was another bomb out there. They searched and searched and searched, finally finding the package, right? And it had been scheduled for delivery the very next day. Doing an x-ray, yeah, there was another bomb here. This one was on its way to a church before they nabbed it. Now, though, investigators, they raced to the FedEx facility where these packages had been dropped off to try and find their CCTV footage. to see if they could get the guy.
What did Jesus ever do to you, man? Why you gotta take shit to his house? That's fucked. Man, that is some bullshit. It literally seems like whoever's doing it, it's like targeting places where people should feel safe and comforted. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know not everyone feels safe in church and comforted in church. Everyone has their right to believe in whatever they believe in. But for a vast majority of people, they find safety in church. And now this motherfucker was even trying to attack a church. Like, what was the plan? Like, to blow something up, and then when everyone's like running to the church, being like, oh, please, God save us, and everything else, blow that motherfucker up too? This dude's a piece of shit.
The bomber wore a disguise, but the cashier was able to give them a description of a young man with a bad complexion. The CCTV of the parking lot proved a lot more useful, as it showed the man getting into a red Ford Ranger truck. Investigators had seen the same red Ford Ranger truck before, on the parking lot CCTV of a Home Depot. The same Home Depot where the driver...
See, man, if you gonna fucking do stupid shit like this, don't ever park anywhere. Walk everywhere. Take the bus. Like, seriously, I've watched so many of these, I could probably pull off the crime of the year. No lie. Man, wear your hat down low. Yeah, B5 Nation, bro. Yeah. Ooh, B5 Nation. I forgot it even said that. Never mind. Don't wear your hat down low. Everyone's just gonna know it's me. I'm out. I'm done. They'd be like, oh, it was Bill 5000. He did it. I'm gonna be like, son of a bitch. No, it didn't. Nope. That way you seen your hat.
Like your kids live here. Sign had been bought.
You can get
By
online.
the way, the name he was sending the packages under? Kelly Kilmore, if you can believe that. Finally, they knew they were about to get the name and the face of this fucko. The
Could have
CCTV
been like a
footage,
little bit original.
The car, the license plate, the
Kelly
DMV
Kilmore.
gave them that name. So who exactly was this chippy chappy? In CCTV. I mean, you're kind of expecting this is like some prepper, grizzled, Kaczynski type. No. This was a kid who'd done it all. 23-year-old Mark Anthony Conditt. He grew up in Pflugerville, Texas. Pflugger, that sounds like an illness. Into an extremely close-knit and
really
religious
do.
family, having 2 younger sisters. After being homeschooled by mother, Conditt eventually attended an Austin community college between 2010 and 2012 to study business administration, though he did not graduate. According to those who knew him, he was a nice, quiet guy. He liked to debate, but wasn't especially political or anything like that. In a blog he published as part of a political science class, Conditt labeled himself as not that politically inclined.
Excuse me.
My name is Mark Conditt. I enjoy cycling, parkour, tennis, reading, and listening to music. I am not that politically inclined. I view myself as a conservative, but I don't think I have enough information to defend my stance as well as it should be defended. The reasons I'm taking this class is because I want to understand the US government, and hope that it will help clarify my stance, and then...
That's right. It's a 2 coffee cup kind of day, bruh. Don't judge me.
Defend it. In 6 posts from January to March 2012, he argued against same-sex marriage, doing the old, oh, are they gonna marry dogs next?
I don't think we should be marrying dogs, but who cares? Bro, I get so tired of hearing about, oh, just the same. Who cares, man? Love who you want to love. Be with the person that helps you get through this shithole of a world. You know what I mean? If someone makes you happy, who gives a shit? You know how hard it is to find happiness in this world? That pisses me off so much. Who gives a rat's ass on who you kiss, who you love, whose hand you hold, who you lay down in bed with every fucking night? As long as it's someone who makes you truly happy and makes you feel good with yourself, who gives a fuck? Oh, other than this fucker.
That whole argument, he was also in favor of the death penalty, but he was also in favor of ending sex offender registries, so...
I think... See, I kind of agree with that. End it, because just kill them all. You don't have to have a registry if, every time the predator goes out there and does something and gets caught, and then you just You know what I mean? Pew pew! Right in the face. Wouldn't have to have one. Population would be a lot smaller too. Win-win for everyone. Look, I don't care. I can't stand a. And I think a registry is honestly a waste of time. Look at how many times people get around that stupid bullshit. Just fucking euthanize them. Just straight cap them in the fucking face, bro.
Now, the blog, though, was written 6 years before all this happened, so who knows what his views were at the time he began his, actual campaign of terror. He seemed pretty indiscriminate with who he targeted. He worked for his parents, I mean, of course he did. Nothing wrong with working for your parents, but I just got a feeling Mark Anthony Conditt was someone who didn't get away from them too much at all. That was the Conditt Development Group. Mark worked in purchasing. He had bought a house with his father a year before the bombings in 2017. His new neighbors, they described him as very quiet and a bit of a loner, but always polite. Like with many spree and serial killers, it seems no one had a clue he was behind the bombings that had gone off in Austin. And now he was the subject of a huge manhunt. By March 20th, they had everything they needed. With Conditt's house under surveillance, agents from the FBI prepared to execute a warrant on his property. With SWAT preparing to go in by the morning, suddenly there was a break. Shortly after 1 a.m., Conditt's phone had pinged at a cell tower. He had turned his cell phone back on. Officers from SWAT raced to the location, a hotel parking lot, and they found him there sitting in his car. Before they could move their armoured cars into place, Conditt's car started moving, and in seconds officers had resolved to stop him no matter the cost to themselves. This was a race now. The officers were watching and Mark knew it. He put the pedal to the floor. All hell broke loose over the space of a few minutes. Police SWAT officers piled into their vehicle and managed to ram Conditt and forced him to a stop. But obviously, given the nature of the crime, he was.
This is cool as shit to watch, though, bro.
The situation was
it's like
insanely.
That one mission in Grand Theft Auto 5 where, Trevor's in the helicopter and you're driving around with Franklin. Is it or is it not, man? Fuck yeah.
Dangerous, even with his car stopped. The officers knew it was very likely that Conditt was armed, and they needed to be cautious. Their caution proved to be life-saving when, as they approached the vehicle, calling on Conditt to get out of the car. As they did so, Conditt, I'm guessing seeing no way out and not wanting to be taken alive, detonated a homemade explosive device inside the car, similar to those he'd sent out to his victims. The blast killed Conditt and injured an officer who was hurt after the force of the explosion blew him off his feet.
Got an explosion inside the vehicle.
Fucking pussy.
The Austin bombings is one of those real shitty cases where the perpetrator and the killer kind of escaped justice by taking the coward's way out. Though Conditt was stopped and he died, I'd say a lot of people would think, yeah, well, he got off pretty lightly comparing, what he did. The main question, though, of course, being why? Why did he send out bombs just completely randomly?
We'll never know.
Why would you do something like that? He had some strong views, but he never once called for violence. That we know of. In addition to discovering the remnant components that he'd used to construct the deadly devices, Mark had left behind a 25-minute video confession. Now, the video has never been made public, it's never been released. There was no trial, so there was no reason to release his confession video. Though the police chief would say it was an outcry of a challenged young man talking about the challenges in his life that led him to this point.
On this recording, the suspect describes the 6 bombs that he constructed with a level of specificity that he identified the differences among those 6 bombs. We have told you all along that they all had similarities, which they did as far as specific components, but there were also differences between them. And on this recording, he identified what those differences were. I know everybody is interested in a motive and understanding why, and we are never going to be able to put a ration behind these acts. But what I can tell you, having listened to that recording, he does not at all mention anything about terrorism, nor does he mention anything about hate. But instead, it is the outcry of a very challenged young man talking about challenges in his personal life that led him to this.
I didn't hear a word you said. I was watching the hand dude, like that.
Point.
Oh, poor him, bless. He's the real victim here, I suppose.
I don't know. I don't know why I was watching, but he just kept saying phone, and I was like, what?
I mean, Mark, he had some challenges, so guy was just a little bitch of like major proportions. I'm
Pussy
glad
ass
this
little
video
bitch.
was never
Got you,
released,
got
because I
you.
guarantee you, it doesn't really matter what he would say in this video, no matter how convincing he was or his conviction.
No, it don't make two fucks, bro.
What he did means
He's a
we
piece
don't
of
have to give a
trash.
shit about what he said or thought. It was him being a
Exactly.
pussy. End of story. One
Coward
detective
ass
said
little
that
bitch.
Conditt explicitly stated that he liked the thrill of killing and intended to continue with quotes like, "I wish I was sorry, but I am not," self-describing himself as a psychopath, and that if he knew the police were closing in on him, his initial plan was to walk into a crowded McDonald's and blow himself up in there. Throughout it all, he allegedly, even though he described himself as a psycho and a piece of shit and a bitch, he never once said though why he did it. He just was like, doing it. So, okay. Good thing you're gone. Killed 2, maimed a lot of others, and was gonna keep trying. Psychopath. The biggest problem was how long it took to catch him, and then when they did, he went out on his own way. And why he did it. But I mean, at this point, some people just don't need a reason to
Fucking
hate
pussy.
the world. But we got a pretty good reason to hate Mark Conditt. Thank
There
you
you
so much
go.
for watching. It means
Thank you so much for having me, Mike. As always, it's a pleasure being here. We always have an amazing time together, buddy. We do. All right, I really enjoyed today's video. I mean, damn, dude did take the pussy way out. Man, if you're going to do all that, then take your notoriety and go to prison and get in your boom shoot. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. I'm never happy until someone's in prison getting it in their boom shoot. All right, I really enjoyed today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video as much as I did. And if you did, please go down there, leave a thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow. While you're down there, if you want, go on over and slap that subscribe button, become part of the B5 Nation. We do some crazy stuff here. If you want to know when that crazy stuff happens, ding that bell. Turn on all notifications. As always, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Damn, Mike. Dude was a pussy ass little bitch, though. I mean, if you're going to do something like that and, you know, have the balls to take someone's life, at least have the balls to tell us why the fuck you did it. You know what I mean?